Welcome to this week on the 6873 show. Today we'll be discussing the darker side of VR and the internet in general, including cyberbullies, pedophiles, and all the things in the real world are starting to sneak over to our realm. So please join us so we can have quite a lengthy discussion. My name is Ren. Of course, the other hosts of the show are...
I'm Rossi, and we have...
Ion, and this beautiful woman over here
is, as always, Tookie, and today we are joined by Heel. So, as today's topic, it might get very dark for some viewers, so viewer discretion
is advised.
The dark side of your chat. That's just a bunch of different aspects, like gangs. Yes, gangs. I said that.
I've actually seen that.
Pedophiles, scammers, hackers who only mean ill intention upon others. So, who wants to
the thing
start
is, you know, we have the virtual environments and stuff now. I mean, when you think about it, you know, this is a place that, okay, for like even us for our show, we can literally go into an office with chairs and stuff, go down and sit down, talk about our shows and stuff like that. We have businesses actually going to these worlds now and using these for meetings and stuff like that. But that also is true for anyone. Like, let's say you have drug cartels, you have mafia, you have all these other, which sadly are making a presence in VR now. Can do the exact same thing from no matter where they are in the world, can get together, sit down, and actually do illicit business. You know, and they don't run the risk of, you know, having a raid come on them or anything like that because it's all virtual and they can literally meet all over the entire world. And the sad thing is ever since a lot of this digital age has started, I mean, way back since when the earliest days, you look at things like the dark web, way before VR and stuff like that, which is still going on. You have the deep web, which I'm not saying the deep web is a bad thing. There's a lot of good things about the deep web. But 10% of that deep web is what we call the dark web, about 10% of it. And that I have gone to a lot of parts of the dark web. And you can literally find and do anything. So this is something that's not new just to VR. It's a slow progression. As you know, as we start moving to a virtual society, of course, you know, this has been here for a very long time. We're just now starting to see it in things like VR chat and even Alt Space and a lot of the virtual worlds. You know, it's here. It's becoming a presence now. And the bad thing is, you know, because like the dark web and deep web and stuff like that, we had, you know, I guess you could say high level players. We had, you know, actual mafia. We had questionable governments, you know, all this other stuff. But now in VR, we're having a presence of like the low level people. You know, we're having not only cyberbullies, we're having pedophiles, we're having gangs. Actual gangs are forming here in VR chat. And I've even seen it in other virtual worlds. Actual low level, you know, little gang things. And I'm like, so, you know, we come to VR chat to get away from a lot of this stuff. And it seems like humanity always has to bring the darkest part of themselves to wherever they go.
It's like pest control.
Seems like unfortunate.
You can
honestly
you can
on
try
the
and
gang
try,
half.
but yeah.
The gang half. I've been on VR chat for a very long time. I still remember the day one of you got into Knuckles stuff. And during that time, I've seen a lot of gangs come in and go. And honestly, one of the biggest ones, even though I really don't think they're still together anymore, they were called the Coffins. they were modders, cheaters, stuff like that. I've seen them completely crash an entire convention with just
Holy
one
crap.
avatar.
Mm.
A room full of like high-end PC players. Simple little avatar, snap of its finger, killed them all.
So a
But
lot
it's not
are a
even
lot of
that.
these are a lot of these gangs that you're seeing now, are a lot of them basically cyberpunks, basically just hacker gangbangers?
A lot of the things I've been seeing recently are like predecessors. The ones that came out from the gang that go into make their own gang. But a lot of them were possibly like second command, third command that try
Mhm.
to bring it back, but a lot of them just end up failing because they can't get the
Hopefully, a
people and they
majority
can't get
moved
the proper
on.
material. Exactly. A lot of them have moved on. Some of them are still my friend. I can still admit that. I'm still friends with some of the original gang members that are out there, and some of them don't even come on here anymore. They've split off and did their own thing. That's the one good
Mm.
thing.
But the fact is
Well,
that
get
just
back to-
today,
Mm.
I was trying to look up an avatar creator, and I thought, oh my god, he or she had some very good avatars. I was trying to look up, and I saw the bio of this person, and it was literally saying, I'm a quest crasher. VR chat should not even be
Cool.
quest compatible. I hate quest people.
The biggest reason why
Hmm.
you
And I'm
see that, the biggest reason you see that is because a lot of the people that came onto this platform were before the Quests. They were still
Yeah.
PCs, not Oculus, but HTCs, stuff like
Mhm.
that. The biggest reason why you
HTC,
see that, honey,
Oculus Rift. Yeah.
is because a lot of people gave their kids Oculuses during Christmas and all these other people coming in whenever they really don't need it. So they come in here and be bullies, and you see a lot of temptation in there. That's the
Mhm.
biggest reason why you see people using Quest crashers just to get rid
No,
of the
that-
lower form.
no, that's not what I intend to say. This was literally one and all that this person hate. There was no difference between it or anything. It was all quest users, no matter age or not.
Yeah.
And I will say, people like that should not be on VR chat. VR chat is for everyone with a certain age limit, yes. But you don't have to be that kind of person. If somebody hurt you, okay. But it shouldn't be implied to everyone. There's no reason for that. This is how bullies start. This is how gang starts. This is how pressure and how do you
Needless
say,
to
all
say,
bad things.
bullshit.
Mhm.
Let's say
Yeah.
bullshit starts.
Well, the thing is too is like, I can kind of see where like a lot of the people, we had the quest flood come like that, because it did bring a lot of kids, unfortunately, because a lot of people say, oh, it's just a toy, and they give it to the kids. I can see that, but like a lot of other VR communities I've been in, they've really cracked down and weeded out the kids. But
Yeah.
I mean, not by crashing them, but not by bullying them or anything like that. They've actually went through
Reports and
administrators. They went through, all sorts of stuff, and they made it a place. But the thing is, too, is before the Quest, VR chat was a very small group. It was a small community. What's exploded this community and grown our community, like it or not, are the Quest
COVID.
users and COVID. But
Yeah.
you look at the greatest majority of people on VR chat right now and in VR, like I say what you want about them, whatever. The reason we're having this huge explosion in VR technology, interest, people getting into this, VR chat growing as big as it's getting. When we have like this last con I went to, an actual con in VR, we had 9,000 people in attendance. Say what you want, is the Quest users anyone being able to get a Quest and get on VR has grown this community, and people need to understand that you may not like a lot of people on Quest. There's a lot of good people on Quest. Yes, there are kids, but they can be handled. Other communities have handled them like rational people.
Yeah, but there are just some with the short fuses and low tolerance. I get it. A room full of kids screaming, reeing,
It's
or what the
annoying.
fuck ever they do. It's annoying, but you don't have to be a jackass.
Well, that's what the button to make
Just
a
don't.
private instance is for as well, anyway.
Exactly.
Not only can you make
I will
private
say-
instances, you can block and you can remove.
Yeah.
But it's like if you want to go in public to meet new people, to experience other avatars than the ones you might have,
Mhm.
your options are very limited. Because you will always run into that kid that's just gonna piss everybody off. Or a grown up, you know. I mean, it could be
yeah, true.
anybody.
Well, that's one thing I'm even noticing with a lot of these new gang factions coming up is, okay, not all of them are kids. And unfortunately, a lot of the bullies I've seen, like actual bullies, aren't on Quest. They are, they're on PC, but you have people who, I hate to say it, they're assholes in real life. They bring it in here, and then assholes meet other assholes, and assholes do their asshole thing. They make gangs, and that just makes it horrible for everyone. I remember it was not too long ago, there was a group going around that used to storm. I used to go to Fur Hub a long time ago, almost every day, to hang out with other furs. And there was this group that used to go there, and these were comprised between 18-year-olds and up to 30-year-old members. They would always come in Nazi regalia and start storming the server, calling everyone everything that you can imagine, explicitly using N-words and you name it, just for no other reason than just being what they are, assholes. Yeah.
They're trying to get a reaction out of a community that does have no part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've had that same issue actually this morning. I was chilling with a few streamers, and one of them started getting swamped. A gang decided to go after them, and I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to say which gang. I'm not going to say that. But it was kind of ridiculous. Literally, an innocent little streamer, no more than 200 subs, just instantly getting messed with because she had Phantom Touch.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If people write
So
out that in their bios,
I had to instantly open a portal to an invite only. And as soon as she got through it, all the others started to go through it. I'm like, okay, kick.
Mm-hmm.
It was a constant, it took me 30 to 40 minutes just to get them out.
Jesus.
Ganging up
I don't
on this
understand.
little streamer.
I don't
Just
understand.
petty.
It really is. Fine. Well, I think a lot of it too is, okay, way back in the day, I used to hang out with a lot of the hacker groups and stuff like that, And way back, they used to have, it was actually a term that was coined. It's called digital Jedis, because you get these people, they can't really do much in real life. They're really not much in real life. They get on a computer, and with a little bit of knowledge they have, they get this. It was actually a thing for a lot of the early hackers before VR and that kind of stuff. They got this god complex because they could come into this environment, I guess you could say, digital basic as it was, and literally feel like a god because they could do anything and without any repercussions. And a lot of people, even though it's in VR, it is a little bit different because you do have some, there's some consequences now, which is a good thing. We need consequences, bad behavior. But you have a lot of people who are new here, and a lot of the bullies that come, they can go here and do all this stuff, and they feel they have no consequences whatsoever. So it gives them this god complex of, well, I can do whatever I want. It's a free server. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
Wait
they
until
don't
they get a hold
realize
of
that
an admin.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Wait
like,
until they get
I
a hold
can
of an
do
admin, they're
anything.
screwed.
Yeah, but they don't realize because for them it's still the game. So they
Yeah.
don't realize
But
that their
the one
actions
thing they
has real
also,
consequences.
but the one thing really do fail to realize is once they see that big green sign on their screen saying permanently banned, that's when they knew they messed up. And some of them make dummy accounts. And we've known people that has made dummy accounts just to come back on here. But the funniest thing is, if it relates to any way or shape or form to that particular account, unless it's like a number change or a letter change, it's gone. They track down every single one of them with the correct IP address. It will be permanently removed.
I would say a lot of
I
people
mean,
in here don't. Oh, continue.
I was just going to say I've known of a few people that have used things like those VPNs where you can change your IP address.
It
They'll
doesn't
burn
matter.
through
As
that.
long as the headset's inside the same Wi-Fi link, it will catch them.
Yeah, but that's the point. They can change their connection of where it's coming from.
You can have
That's
USA,
true, but it always goes to have a
Timbuktu,
source.
anything.
Yeah, but
Digital
it can't
ID of the
read the source
device.
of the VPN that they're using.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah.
you could just go to the coffee shop or McDonald's down the street and do the exact same. If you're good enough hacker, you can just literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about hacking, but I can just imagine. So, but the thing I want to also talk about is a lot of people don't believe that pedophilia exists on VR chat because, again, it's just
Oh,
a
boy.
game. But
Oh boy, oh
it
boy.
do exist.
We've had
Like we said, a lot of young people also have phantom touch and such. And unfortunately, the grown-ass world of pedophiles are well alive and breathing in here.
Yeah. As soon as all those parents brought their kids a Quest, and as soon as all the kids came on, it just brought a wave of pedophiles.
Well, here's
This is
another
like
bad
an
thing
open
too.
market for them. Yeah.
It really
It's
is
like open.
because they can go and troll.
Yep.
I mean,
And
I've probably have mentioned this in a couple episodes back, but I knew a guy in here, and I gave him a lot of chances, but eventually we had to part ways. He was just too extreme and everything. And then one of my VR kids, well, then became my VR kid, our VR kid, came to me one day because he told me that something bad had happened, but he was reluctant to tell me what. And I was like, okay, give him time, he will just come. Then he came back and he said, like, this person has forced me to do stuff. And I said, what? Like, really forced you? In what way? And he said, well, I had a boyfriend. And I instantly, it clicked, like, okay, I know where you're going. So I said, do you want to talk about this? And he was like, no, I don't. 20 minutes later, he comes back and he tells me that it is exactly that guy that I parted ways with. Who is, by the way, VR chat still in this game, in this world, doing the same stupid shit that he always have done. I will say his youngest victim was 13, as far as I know. 13-year-old boy that can't fend for himself, that can't say no, that don't know that They just have to rip off the headset to escape. You panic. You're like a deer in headlights. It's easy to say, oh, it's just virtual reality. They didn't really touch you in that way. But when you're first backed up in a corner, even if it is in VR chat, you know what's going to happen.
It's
And
just as
you can't
intimidating.
feel safe.
Mhm.
It's beyond the point where they actually have spotters everywhere. Been contacted by a couple actually asked us, so are these the guys that are like hey, what happened? And they're like, oh no,
Trust me.
sorry, we got a false lead, it was not on you guys, but we pointed them in the direction of that asshole
Mm-hmm.
who by the way had
Here's the biggest
sorry
thing.
no sorry who by the way have seven accounts in here. I'm not
One
gonna
now.
mention name.
One now.
One only? They had 7. Okay, had 7.
Keyword had.
Nice.
But that's
Because the other
because
ones have been
we,
permanently rebanned.
yes, because we actually took actions. Well, he took actions because I didn't know who to contact or whatnot. VR chat VR chat was contacted, and apparently it had helped. The spotters are still out there. Whether or not you fuck up, they will find you.
Now, it's
I
like
had actu-
people who have sent. It's like people who've sent people on me. Yes. You know who I'm talking to. I've had people come at me with VR chat accounts that say false accusations about me. And honestly, try me. I have more people behind me that'll tell you the truth than what I've done, what I'm doing. I have enough on this platform. Yes, I've been a Ugandan Knuckles part of the memes. But that's about it.
I mean,
do you know the way?
You kind of knuckles. Do you know
But
the way,
even the
brother?
gangs,
Do you know the way?
even the gangs, if you piss off one person, that person go cry wolf. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf.
It's like everybody just flock around this person. The more extreme the story is, the more they tend to believe it.
Mhm.
And this happened to one I know who I wouldn't say he didn't really care about this other guy, but this other guy kept on harassing him no matter what he did. Spread lies about him, everything. And this poor kid didn't know what to do. One day, this other guy, who's a friend, very good friend, invited him to a world. He showed up, and this asshole, who was not happy with the whole situation, had literally called 4 to 5 other people, ganged up on him, and they hurled insults at him. Literally everything in the book, they called him that, every name. And he panicked, and he, thankfully enough, hit the home button so he could get out of there. But he came to me, he was panicking, on the verge of having a panic attack. His friend joined and said, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was what they wanted to do. They said they would only want to talk to you. So he was innocent in this too.
Mm.
I had to take action because 1, you don't piss on people. 2, you don't piss on people
Unless
I
you're R.
love.
Kelly.
You can piss on him. I took actions. I had to talk to that specific person twice. And I got threatened. Left and right. I'm not threatened anymore. That person who threatened me because of that asshole, he claimed to be a moderator. Well, guess what? Your
Instant
name
ban.
tag is white. Your name tag is white. people. Come on.
It has to either
Well,
be
the thing
red,
is,
orange, or green.
impersonating a moderator is a grounds right there for immediate ban.
Yeah.
Violation.
But that's
Mhm.
why the kid came crying to me, because he thought he was going to be permanently banned
Hmm.
from VR chat, and I said, hold on. And he had a green, red, or whatever name tag, and he didn't remember because he was scared. When I
Mhm.
contacted the person that had started all this, that lovely gentleman joined, and I could see, okay, you're white as hell. Your name tag is white as hell. You lying, my fool. You lying. So, yeah, I told the one who harassed my friend that if you keep on harassing them, I'm gonna go directly to VR chat. And you might end up getting permabanned. Then this little chihuahua who threatened me turned around. I dare you! I dare you to do that. I'm like, don't threaten me!
I will
And they
kick
haven't
you in the next
since.
week. Well, that's one thing too. Is like anything is don't be afraid to handle situations and stuff like that. Looks like okay for a lot of the groups and events here. Like, don't be afraid to have events and stuff like that. One thing I've seen in a lot of other worlds is, they would have events, they'd have gatherings, and they would heavily moderate those events. And that's something that we need to see more of in here because I've seen it happen in other worlds, and that's how they cleaned up a lot of it. Is they would have events, do all the stuff, but they would have moderators in place to keep it safe and clean, and they would kick out all the undesirables out. And that's what needs to happen here because VR chat for a lot of things is still very young and they haven't really discovered that part that's happened in other VR communities is taking responsibility. If you create a world, whatever, taking responsibility for your world, moderating it, and having events there. But a lot of things too. Oh, mhm.
Yeah, because I remember back, this was going back a couple of months now, Old Space was having a problem with the Ghost Hand. Old Space was having a problem with, in the introductory world for like new guests and new guest accounts that were just like
Campfire.
getting in the grips. They had a bot account that was constantly making new accounts. Literally, it was a program designed and built to make new accounts. And as soon as it got into the introductory world, it was literally just all racial slander, just end with this, black that. No offense to any of our viewers, but I'm just saying what the robot was saying. And I tell you what, I have never seen so many moderators and community helpers in one place. It was that bad. I mean, I was there trying to help people, like, get them away from the spawn zone, so it's like they could kick the bot out. And oh my god, it was literally just horrendous.
Well, even us, when we have been when we have our meet and greet event, we had to have a person maintaining people because there were a lot of changing of avatars. People were rowdy. They want to talk and stuff.
Pardon.
And he literally just looked at them once. If they stopped, they were allowed to stay. If they didn't, he kicked them. And he's one of those people. There is no mercy. One warning, if you don't listen, you're out.
Yeah,
And
that's his motto. May the Lord have mercy, for I have none.
yes.
Exactly.
And we actually had to go that far to have a security person like that at a recently new event.
Well,
But he
the
was
thing
there.
is
He
if
did
you
his
have more of
job.
that,
Thank you for that. So, yeah.
if you have more communities doing that and having the events stuff like that and actually having that, it's not going to be fun for the trolls and the gang stuff like that when they know they can't do what they want to do, and they'll leave. The same in alt space. That's how if you go to any alt space event, they have people at the door, they have people watching. Like if you go to an event there, you literally see two people on either side sitting there just watching the audience. And
I mean,
if they get out, they
Even our sponsors, they have people hired that actually have cameras, like Rozzy and Heel has, and those cameras are running 24/7 when they have openings and such. I hope the viewers can see that little button right there, because that's literally placed in every corner in their clubs, running
Fancy
at all
bastards.
times while they have events and such, so that people can like be in the other end of the club, but they can still see what's going on across the room, which I think is genius. That you
Well,
can
well,
actually
make it for
manage to do
Quest.
it just like that.
Now
But-
make it for
well, the
Quest.
thing is when I
Yeah,
was
make it for Quest.
doing Ferality, they actually had cameras, and they literally had in VR a guy in a booth. I'm like, that is kind of cool. And
Just
I've
put a
actually
rock
been
in a booth.
Yeah, and I've actually been to a couple other worlds that were holding events, and they'd literally have a guy in a booth because they literally have like these little cameras all around, and the guy was sitting there just watching everything, and he could, communicate with whoever down there and say, okay, this person, is getting is disrupting everything. And I hate to say it, civilized people shouldn't need that. But
No.
unfortunately, right now in VR chat, we do need to start taking responsibility for their own worlds and stuff like that, and doing these drastic measures until we can get these undesirables to not find it fun anymore and leave. And the thing
I've
is, too,
said
is
it
like,
many times.
Mhm.
I've said it many times. I had lost my faith in humanity. Like, look what happens out there. And just today, I watched a news in Denmark, but it was about the States, where a person ran over a parade just to get away
Thanksgiving
from the police.
parade. Mhm.
Exactly. There were kids
Jesus.
there. They have done nothing to piss people off.
It's the same.
Well,
here
what
in
were you
the
telling me
UK.
there in Wales? That bomber in Wales that was going after
Yes,
the women's
in Liverpool.
hospital.
I'm sure this had made international headlines. The
Yeah,
failed
Liverpool.
suicide attempt at a women's hospital in Liverpool on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Last Sunday, sorry.
Yeah, that was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
It is Remembrance Sunday as well.
Yeah.
Of all the days.
We're just watching this
I
whole
mean,
world slowly burn.
Mhm.
We
yeah,
realize
if it's
this
not
whole
the
world is going
climate,
to burn.
it's people.
It's the
People always say, "Oh, guns and weapons kill people." No, stupid. People kill
People kill people.
regardless of what they use.
The only thing that could take out a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
And you never know, you might end up hurting someone in here too, with a fragile mind.
Well,
We've
here's the
seen that
thing
too.
that I have actually. So I was watching a TED talk. I was watching a TED talk about this subject very similar to this, and there was this wasn't in VR. This was actually in just a chat room, and this one person or this one child, he was 18 years old, had started getting cyberbullied and cyberbullied in these chat rooms, stuff like that. It got to the point that he committed suicide from being cyberbullied.
Yeah.
And that's not an uncommon story. And in VR, it gets more intense.
So young people.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. I think what doesn't help is, you hit the nail on the head earlier. The people that come in and do those things, they see this as a game, and that's it. They don't think about the human aspect behind it. Of yes, it's a game, but you are also talking to real people with thoughts and feelings and mindsets and different emotional states and things like that. So you coming in and being a dick just because it's a game to you is going to hurt someone else. Because to other people, it's not a game. It is a social aspect. They come in here to meet people, to talk,
relax.
Yeah,
We come
exactly.
here to relax and enjoy life. But there's people on here who want to come in here and turn it into their own personal sideshow.
Well, they don't understand that, you literally can be responsible for killing someone. Because I've had to sit up many nights with even some of my youngers, trying to talk them down, because they come in here, they get bullied in real life, they get bullied in here, and they get to the point where they can't hack it anymore, and they don't realize that cyber bully, might have just cost this person their life, but they don't care.
Yeah.
And it's
There is
difficult
actually a
as well.
thing
Seal-
now
because-
for if. Sorry.
Yes.
There is actually a thing now to where if your actions have ended up with someone taking their own life, that you can actually now be legally charged for involuntary manslaughter.
Yep.
Mm.
That is actually true. That's actually something that's going to be pushed into the press in a few weeks.
And it's already pushed in over here. It's law.
Not over here yet.
Not here either.
And it's difficult as well for
unfortunately.
the parents. I mean, as a dad myself, if my daughter was in places like this and she was being bullied and things like that, the parents are pretty much powerless because they don't know what's going on. They can't see what's going on unless they're with them. It's all happening behind closed doors, and most of the time when kids are bullied, they clam up. They don't tell their parents everything that's going on. So it's, all of a sudden, your kid's depressed, your kid's in this weird state, the parents are trying to work out what's going on, and they're just stuck. And, they just see it
I
as,
can vouch for that.
oh, my kid's just being a bit of a moody teenager sort of thing, when it's not. It'd be something deeper than that they don't know.
That's why every chance I get, even though they're not my real kids, I do see them as my real kids. That's why I always talk to them privately. It's like, hey, is there any issues? Is there something going on I need to be aware about? Like, even if it's IRL or VR chat, I always talk to them. It's like, hey, I'm here. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
I mean,
I can
Felix, I'm
vouch for
talking
that
about you.
with being. I can vouch for that being that moody teenager, kind of thing that they always like say. I was so depressed that one time I stopped eating for an entire month. Only a little bit once in a while. I was 14 at that time. The picture from church where you get your, is it confirmations or whatever it's called? I was skinny as hell because I didn't eat. Because I was too depressed because people were bullying me. Either you're too fat or you're too skinny, you have too big boobs or too small boobs. It's anything that can, and it's not just on girls, it's on boys too. And it's like, you just give up. I gave up.
Did you know that there was a study done not too long ago that said that cyberbullying, being a more of a psychological bullying, was actually more detrimental than an actual physical bullying? Like someone pushes you around, whatever, you can say, oh well, they're whatever. But cyberbullying is a more of a psychological bullying, and it actually hurts people's psyche more than just being beat up.
Of course,
Yeah,
you
she
can't
feels
take
you can't
it away.
physically stop them.
mental abuse.
Yeah,
One thing
Yeah,
is
the
that
mental
you
abuse
look
can be worse.
at people.
you can.
Like, people can say whatever they want. Words can go away, but once it's up on the internet, it's never gonna away from the internet. It will always
Which
be
is
out
why
there
I
lingering.
post nothing but memes.
I rarely post
Well,
anything.
I don't post
I just
anything.
mostly
But
look for anything to make me laugh. Sometimes I just look in the
Well,
mirror and
thing-
I laugh like hell.
me too.
Yeesh.
The thing is
You're
too
wonderful
is
gentlemen.
they a lot of people, when they put on the headset, they think, oh well, it's just nothing, you just take off the headset, it has no effect on you. But when you're here, you're here, and you don't feel like you're just in some other place. You're in this world. And like, okay, there was the one event some time back with one of the bouncers at a nightclub here in VR chat. She was a bouncer. This is a grown woman who was acting as a bouncer at a bar. And they had these people come in and sex backed her into a corner, stuff like that. Started sexually abusing her, and she had phantom touch, so she's feeling all this too, and she can't not stop feeling it. And they were sexually abusing her. It's like, oh, well, you could just take off your headset and stuff like that. It's not real. When you're here, you get into that mind state that you're there. You have people.
Think it's real.
Yeah. And even though they're not physically touching you, you have all the same effects as if they actually were. You can feel groped, you can feel violated, you can feel all of that. And if you can take off the headset, that's true. But a lot of people, when they get that mindset, they can't. Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm more of.
Do not spear the fish. Do not spear the fish. We need him.
Shh. Fish sticks.
I am not soup.
Yes, you are.
Soup.
Shark fin soup.
You want sushi?
Num-nums.
That's why a lot of people that the people that knows me, or that I'm just full of shit. But for other people, I might appear either aggressive, angry, or scary. But that's not who I really am. That's me being protective. I take things very seriously.
You're a teddy bear.
Okay, then. Yeah, I might be your teddy bear, but I'm not everybody's teddy bear, okay? But for me, I literally, the other day, somebody called me the matriarch of the family. But it is actually something I take very seriously. I have people with me, around me, that I love and care about. It's not family by blood, but it's family by choice, and I choose to protect them with everything I got. So if you meet me out there and I snarl a little bit at you, it's not me being mean. But it is at the same time me being mean.
There is a clear difference between being bossy and protective.
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of people instantly, for me, they've told me that I am more bossy than I am protective. But no, it's the other way around. To her, I'm just a big-ass teddy bear. Physically and mentally.
Kind.
Yeah.
There's a lot of floof up there.
Anyone
Honey,
says
I'm
will say the same
98%
about
hair.
me.
I look like a Wookiee.
Oh God, multiply. Honey.
We gotta make people smile. We have to.
I love you, but shut the fuck up.
I love you too.
Well, one of the things too, like I say, VR is becoming more. That's one thing I think people need to realize too, is this is progressing to the point where this is going to be normal life for a lot of different people. But one of my concerns too is, as this progresses, because we see an element, not just with the low level, trolls and gangs and stuff like that, but when we get to the point where we actually have cartels, mafia, like actual mafia and stuff like that coming in here and doing business, because they are now, it kind of is scary, what the future might actually look like, because everything we have in reality, we're getting here virtually too. And that's kind of I think that's where it's going to take a lot of responsibility of the citizens here in VR, is to remember that this is your world. Take responsibility for your world.
But I mean, even people that are good at hacking, with the whole force cloning things, you've seen people being ripped of their 40 plus avatars some might be commissioned and such, and it just got ripped from them and being sold on one kind of website.
Mm-hmm.
I
We
mean,
had
that
that
might
not
not
too long ago.
be it might not be specifically the dark web, but it can quickly become that. Because
Exactly.
there are
It's a
actually
step
stealing
in the
avatar.
right
Yeah,
direction. Mm-hmm.
because it's like the black market now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can
We
get
actually
stuff there.
have
You
black
can
markets for
yeah,
virtual merchandise.
exactly. Because you can buy avatars there that are modified to the fullest because they've been taken away from somebody else who actually put a lot of time and effort into making that specific avatar
Well, you have to figure
for somebody
too.
else
I
or
mean,
themselves.
you have to figure that a lot of these avatars, the private avatars, the ones that are not public, these cost a lot of money. Not only do they take a lot of time to actually make that personal, but you have the asset of the avatar itself, which can be quite expensive. You have any assets you're adding to that. I mean, you're talking about a very large monetary investment into a personal avatar. I've seen avatars go for $1,200.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a friend that had one that was $1,200 for a personal full mesh avatar.
Jesus.
And and they sell them at like cheap prices. Some of them, others they demand like a whole bunch of money from. So if you had heard of a good deal on some kind of strange website, don't take it. It's too good to be true. It literally is. And even in here, we have avatar creators, well, people posing as avatar creators, accepting money from people who want a customized avatar. They take the money and they just leave.
Well, then you have certain websites that literally should be shut down. That they need to not exist, because in fact that was that ring not too long ago where people was going in. There was a huge hunt for them too. Like they were actively hunting this person, but they'd go in to worlds where they had a huge amount of privated avatars, and they'd crash it and grab all the avatars.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you see them within an hour on these websites.
Yeah.
And selling them.
I heard recently
and making money.
Wasn't there recently an event that happened where a crasher went in and totally crashed everybody and stole all their avatars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And by the way, if you purchase these avatars, you are also in risk of being permabanned. Just so you know. That can happen.
If it can be proved that...
I will say, while sticking on the subject of websites, anything you see on social media, just really double check, triple check, quadruple check if you have to, because I was reading an article the other day where parents were founding a website where it's like, oh, vote your baby. It's like, how beautiful is your baby? And so they would submit a picture of the child, like dolled up, all dressed up, all nice and adorable. But it turns out the website itself was actually a site for pedophiles to gather and look at the photos you've willingly submitted.
Oh shit!
Heard of that too.
I know it makes you want to vomit.
Well, thankfully there are a few groups in here because I was at for Hub once, and someone had spawned into the world wearing a Nazi outfit, which instantly brought my hackles up. And I went over those, I call them everything that you can think of and told him, get out of here right now. Otherwise, you're going to have a big ass wolf on your case and you're not going to like it. And he's like, whoa. This other guy comes up too. And he's like, whoa, no, you don't understand. It's like, you explain right now, but you have 5 seconds to explain or you're not going to like me. And he says, no, we're looking for pedophiles, because unfortunately for Hub, it does attract some kids, because they want the cute little avatars. Yeah. And it's, no, we're with a task force hunting down, and it's like, you prove it right now. And of course they did. It's like, okay, number one, if you don't want to cause a trouble, change the fuck out of that avatar right now, because that's not going to attract anyone. and say, okay, But luckily, there are people in here. There are organizations that are actively hunting these, and I think that is a great thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely
But yeah,
100%.
if you are going to be in this world, know about the rules you're going into, because there's people like me that don't like those type of people.
Yes.
Especially
Also,
furry talking shit.
yeah.
Hmm
Yes.
Also,
As
as
a
well,
personal
also
person
be
who
careful
knows the
of
owner.
the younger.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, continue. You.
You also got to be careful of the other of the kids themselves as well. So I don't mean it to sound in a nasty way, but it's like you could go into a world just like have the time of your life, just enjoy, chill, do whatever, and next thing you know, you got a kid coming up talking all dirty, and you're just thinking, really, really, and it's just like. In a way, it makes you think like reverse pedophilia. It's just so fucking wrong.
Hey, I had a 10-year-old up to me. Do you want to be my mommy? Blech.
Yeah, that was actually as
Yeah.
well. My ex-partner,
Mhm.
not mentioning names, but when we were together, she actually had someone who was 13 come up to her and literally ask her to do dirty things.
Mhm.
And it was just like, oh.
But
Well,
even
that's the
that,
bad thing.
Yeah.
yeah. How young was that one you met in was it Murder 4?
Sorry, I got bloody shivers now.
Yes.
Jesus.
And what was this person going around saying?
Oh, I'm just looking for some. Yeah, I'm not going to go any further with that.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go any
think
further with
that's
that
not
because
good.
I don't want to monetize our channel.
Let's just say she
Well,
was
that-
looking for tail.
Yeah.
Jesus.
7 years old.
That's the scary
Going
thing
around
about it.
saying, yeah, going around
And the
saying
thing-
stuff like that. She has not a care in the world.
Yeah.
Because this is not real. This is not real. Yes, it is.
There's
Well, that's the
people on
thing,
here you
especially
really
if you, you try to you tell these kids, go away, just go away. You should not exist, die, whatever. Booger eaters, and then they can report you, because they're too freaking young to understand what's going on. There is a reason we have age limits. It needs to be enforced, and honestly, that age limit needs to be raised.
Yes, because even on the quests, it's not a recommendation, it's not advice. Oculus themselves have said Quest users should not be younger than 13.
I wouldn't
And then
even
what is
say
it,
13.
16?
15, 16.
15 or 16.
Honestly?
Because I
Yeah.
have a few young ladies come after me. I mean, a few.
I've had a
And
couple
I've
myself.
just looked at them
Honestly,
as like, no.
It's like I'm not in this for that. Oh, excuse me, my fucking head's just the silicone is sticking to my
Well,
face.
I mean, honestly, I don't think you should be 18 to even be in these worlds. I'm sorry. Unless you're an adult, don't be here.
Yeah.
Because you can get you can, yeah. And that needs to be. That's what they did in a lot of other communities. All Space is one of them. They literally kick the kids out. VR chat is not for kids. People need to take responsibility and kick the kids out. They shouldn't be here at all. This is not for them. Send them to rec room. Send them to their own world. Not here.
Yeah, because
Maybe
Old
they-
Space,
maybe they
the
should create-
moderator, the admins have the trick of hearing everyone in a room.
Yep.
They can hear everyone speak. It's like they could be on one end of the room, you could be on the other. But because they've got the tools to moderate and just basically watch the server, they can hear everyone speak. So as soon as they hear a child, they'll find that name and they'll kick them out.
And they have moderators. That's one
Yeah,
thing that's sorely missing here. That's sorely missing here is, they have open worlds, but they have no one moderating it. And that's what they need to learn from these other worlds is moderate your worlds, get rid of the kids and the less than desirable people. And there's a lot of them. Because it is a cancer. If you let it go, it's going to grow and it's going to take everything out with it.
I
Maybe they
do
should-
think they need to work on the reporting system. So it's like, say if there's a kid in your now, someone's harassing them.
Mhm.
But he report the person, just say reported for what is doing, just like sexual harassing, and it needs to have a category like doing what is it, touching, behavior, talking against a child. As soon as that's red flags on that account, and they need to fucking look at it. Pardon the language, I'm getting a bit frustrated.
No, it's totally fine. Totally
Don't
fine.
worry, you're fine.
Mhm.
At least you're not
Well,
like
here's
me
the
right
bad
now.
thing. The bad thing is, even though we have to have this drastic action, because we have a lot of bad individuals, kids included, unfortunately it's going to affect the good kids, because there are a lot of very good kids that we love.
They
We love
are.
them here, but
They just want to
it's
enjoy the game the same
unfortunately a
as us.
minority. Yeah, it's unfortunately a minority, and that's what's going to hurt.
Just there are a lot of good kids, like you said. I can even vouch for a couple of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the other. It's just that like that 10% who just screws up for everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
And
what's
also,
happening
last
here.
warning. Yeah, last warning. Don't accept any friend requests of people you have not talked to yet. You never know who they are or what they might do. This is for the younger audience, if you are actually watching this video. Well, old as well. Do not accept a friend request from somebody you don't know or have not talked to. Could be out to just harm you, or they can also end up being a good friend. But be cautious, because I've seen it happen.
There are predators out here.
Yeah. If they're doing something you don't like or you're uncomfortable, block them. Just block them, report them and block them. Even better, you're doing 2 in 1. But in chat rooms on Facebook, anything else on other websites, there is reporting buttons. You can stop it.
Use them, yes. Use the systems and the tools we have now.
Use and abuse it, yeah.
Yes,
But
use and abuse it.
if you're not comfortable or quick enough, because you, like I said before, deer in headlights. If you can manage to get that far and actually snap yourself out of it, take the headset off, or find someone who can help you. Because there are people
Word of
like
advice
us
when-
in here.
As I say, word of advice, when you get in that situation when you're stressed and you feel like the deer in the headlights, it's just stop, take a deep breath, breathe out slowly. If you need to take a couple of deep breaths, do a couple of deep breaths, settle yourself, and then just evacuate yourself if you need to.
If you can't
if you're in a war,
think straight, and take your headset off, find somebody, anybody that you can turn to that will actually help you out with this kind of situation. You will meet people like us, even though we're slightly retarded, crazy, and yeah, but we will help new users, abused users. If you see one of us somewhere and you feel like you're in a situation you can't get out of,
leave in the comments too. If you
yeah.
have anything that you're dealing with, leave in the comments. Let us know. And like I say, we can try to weed out this bad environment, because even like the kids, I mean, like I was saying, there's some really good kids. I have a couple of VR kids that are the best kids here. Ethan, Swat, you guys are awesome in case you're watching. But we need to weed out this bad element so we can keep the good people here.
Definitely.
Also,
what do you
guys? What do you think would be some of the best options for us as a community in VR chat to start reining in a lot of the trolls, the gangs, the even high-level criminals that are making it in terms of drug dealer? People are actually coming in here to plan out drug deals. What would be a good plan for us as a community to help weed out these people?
More community. More community people that work for VR chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moderators,
we work together, the
task
better.
force. Yes,
Well,
even support groups. Like, I cannot
Mhm.
stress enough the support groups that we have in here. They're wonderful. They're doing a good job, but we need more people.
Mhm.
We
Well, so
really
like
need
even the
more people.
communities. There are communities out there that they're not affiliated with VRChat. They have their own communities and here. But if even they took a stance, if everyone started taking a stance,
Exactly.
If you're in
Always seek
one of
help.
these worlds, just if you see a child in need, or if you see someone like harassing someone, don't just walk by. Literally confront them. Demand to know why they're harassing this person. And if they refuse to tell you or they refuse to leave, you stay there. You stay there with that person to show that they are not alone, that they have got help.
And if that doesn't help, reach out.
You get the entire server on their ass.
Exactly. And
'Cause I
don't be
swear,
afraid
if
to
you
report.
if you need help, I'm right here.
Whoa.
I am right here. What?
We don't want no
Look at that,
fin
she's
soup
brought it
tonight.
up and I haven't even said nothing.
We don't want no fin soup.
Howie. But we will help if you see us, which is rarely in public worlds, but we will go there sometimes. Don't be afraid to talk to us.
Mhm.
We are open-minded and kind-hearted. So don't be afraid.
And retarded.
I'm a big bad wolf.
I will say though, parents
Sheesh.
do need to get more involved with the child's online activities.
Yes. I think that is key
Yes.
number one.
Yes, that is key number one.
Because any gamer will remember the original Modern Warfare 2 lobbies from Xbox 360. All the kids
Oh
just
my god.
It's like,
Oh,
you're lucky
no,
to survive that.
no.
I have
You wanna talk
never
about something
owned an
else?
Xbox, nor will I.
No, what you really need to talk about is the original Call of Duty Black Ops 2 multiplayer.
Yes. Yes.
That's where it all began. That was
I
the
play
original
Minecraft.
Kid situation.
Yeah.
But I have played Call of Duty. They hated me because I was sniping and killing things. They called me a
Yeah,
swatter,
I'm old
but
school.
Parents need to
When
pull
I was
this
gaming, we
out of
didn't have
and
internet.
actually start acting like parents.
Yes.
Your child
The
is
good
10.
old days.
Don't buy him a video game that's meant for an 18 plus.
Yeah.
That's like VR chat coming out, not VR chat, but Oculus coming out with GTA San Andreas.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
don't
it's
understand
I've
that.
read
I'm
up more
supposed
on
to
it.
be the
It's
one
It's gonna be
walking on the street.
legit. It's gonna be legit,
It'll-
just like the original video game.
Yeah, just
Well,
with updated
minus the
graphics and
cheat codes.
controls.
the
There's some
thing is
still in it.
too.
There is some still in it.
The thing is too is, are you gonna? Okay, you have a young kid. Are you gonna buy your young child a sex toy? I mean, it's the same difference. You're buying your
Depends on
kid
the
something
child.
that your child has no business even having.
There's a joke waiting to be said there, but I really don't want to say it because I don't know how people
Good.
would act.
And don't.
Yeah.
It involves a Catholic priest, so I think the audience would know.
Yeah, I swear to God, I will slice and
Yeah.
dice you. We will have sushi and shark fin soup.
Okay.
Well, do we have any other subjects we want to, or any further we want to go on this, or any final thoughts?
Any last words? Advice?
Why am I going to be shot at dawn?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
We want that shark fin soup.
Hmm.
Well,
Hey, it's been
I
a
can't
so-so
stress it
episode, so I
enough.
think a little smile would help the audience a bit.
I will say, don't be
No
afraid.
matter how shit things will be, we'll always keep smiling, and I hope you smile with us.
Don't be afraid. Reach out. There are
Yes.
people out there that will help
Don't know
you.
why I've done that face. Hey.
Well, if you see any of this stuff, don't be afraid to confront. Don't be afraid to report. Don't be afraid to use the tools that we have. Find moderators. Use the tools in your menu. They are there. Use them. and don't be afraid to step up and say, hey, this is not appropriate. You're not wanted here. This is your world, your community. You need to be the guard of your world.
Your family.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess
All right.
that was it. We did it again. We completed
We
yet
did it
another
again.
episode.
Ooh,
Yes,
before
go
I
ahead.
forget, we need to mention our raffle.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
The raffle. Oh yes.
So we are going to be
Yes.
having we're going to be raffling off some t-shirts here pretty quick. I'll actually have descriptions and everything in the link below. But we will be offering off some official 6873 merchandise, including t-shirts and probably some other things that we're going to be working on. It is going to be a raffle, so there will be a set amount you can send to us on our PayPal. Just make sure that you do mention there that it is raffle ticket when you submit it. And at what about New Year's or after New Year's?
It'll be the
Yeah.
3rd of, from the schedule, it'll be the 3rd of January we'll be announcing winners.
Yep. So some lucky people out there will be winning some very fun prizes from us. And a lot of the proceeds
knows?
also from this will also be helping a lot of our humanitarian projects, which are going to be moving along with a lot more humanitarian projects and stuff like that. So we would really appreciate your help. Also, please like and subscribe. It helps us more than you can ever possibly imagine. And please also consider our $1 Patreon. We have an Avali that is very hungry. We don't want to see her starve.
We don't want to
But
turn
we
it
do
into
have
that. We don't want to see it turn into that PlayStation graphic
No.
we saw
No,
we saw last
no, no,
week.
PlayStation
PS1
1.
Ollie.
That.
Yes,
one.
we do not want
That
this.
one.
We do not want
You're,
this.
you're stuck in the chair.
Yeah, go on the tape.
Save our Avali.
Save the Avali. Feed the Avali.
Say, feed the Avali.
Don't let this happen.
It would take your soul and your wallet. Or something like that.
I'm getting paper cuts just looking at it.
What the?
I know, seriously.
See, it could
we
teleport.
are-
It's even more dangerous now.
But we are going to be
if
working a
you're
lot
the luck-
more.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And if you are the lucky winner of a t-shirt, there might be a surprise in there too. You never know.
What way to start the new year then with a win on our raffle?
Exactly.
Yes.
So we'll be mentioning some more about our raffle, stuff like that.
Don't
Please
cut me. Don't
consider
cut
that.
me.
And other than that, thank you for joining us on this week on the 6873 show. We hope to see you next week. And everyone have a great day.
And to all our
Bye.
potato chips out there, take care and be safe. Lots of love. Bye.
Toodle and the pip.
Bye.
Oh, I think my cat's
Potatoes!
Yeah.
Potatoes,
stinks.
Frenchy fries.
Honey, do you want to do the potatoes in that one?
Is there Skittles in here? No. Only
No Skittles for you. No. No soup.
Still
No
recording.
Skittles.
Who the fuck are gonna eat my Skittles? They're my Skittles. Oh, you're talking about real Skittles? Shit.
I want Skittles.
I got
There's only potatoes.
shark ass. I got shark ass in my face.
Well, you wanted fit soup. Now you got it.